Hello, my fabulous creative writers. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're all geared up and excited to do some more fun stuff when it comes to creative writing. Yes, that's what we do in this class. So we're going to talk really briefly here about point of view as a refresher, just to make sure that everyone's on board with the different points of view when it comes to writing. It's very important that you understand the difference for these, because if not, then it's going to be a little tricky when it comes to writing. So as a review, let's take a look at the four major points of view. Well, the first one is first person. When it comes to first person is written from the point of view of a person who's actually experiencing the situation. Now, how does that reflect when it comes to writing? Well, it comes and uses I or forms thereof. I, me, mine, okay? And you have to stay inside the character's head the whole time. You can't jump around. And in doing so, since you're inside the character's head the whole time, you can only feel and experience what the main character feels. You don't know what somebody else is thinking. You don't know what somebody else is feeling. Now, you can observe and make observations, but as the narrator of the story, you are stuck inside the main character's head, which means you know what the character's thinking and what they're feeling, but you don't know what else is going on. So what's an example? Some examples of first person. Well, you would have, I don't know, I went to the store. I, therefore that's first person. My mom gave me money. Those are first person. My mom gave me money. Jane looked like she was going to kiss me. Even though we have Jane listed here, this is still first person because me. I'm observing what Jane is doing. Okay. Now, when it comes to second person, done a little differently. Instead of I, me, my, it is you. You, Y-O-U. Okay, second person. It uses you or forms thereof, like you, your, yourself. You stay inside the reader's head the whole time. This is very challenging. This is not a very common form when it comes to writing. You see these in the Choose My Own Adventure books, which were discussed in the readings from last week. And also you see these often in video games, like you are being shot at, the monster is eating you, you are hungry, you need to eat something, okay? And you can only feel and experience what the reader feels. This is a very challenging, not very commonly used point of view when it comes to writing, okay? So examples. You go upstairs. Not I go upstairs, you go upstairs. The monster starts to eat you. Oh dear. You take a bite of the apple and discover it's rotten. Note, do not use this form when learning how to write. This is a very advanced, tricky form of writing when it comes to writing books, especially novels. There is a time and a place for this, and most of the time and the place is not for modern day writing. And we will get to that in further classes later on in your college career. All right, let's look at the next one. Third person limited. So the last two are both third person, but they're broken up into two different parts. So you have third person limited, which is you're still telling the story from one person's point of view, but instead of it being you, it's somebody else. Okay? So it uses they or forms thereof, like names like Jane or Jim or Bob or Daquan or whatever. Okay? You're inside of head of a character that is not you. Okay, so it's not I'm doing this, but somebody else is doing this. And you can only feel and experience what the character feels. So that one particular character, you kind of stuck with them. Okay, now how this looks is, again, they went to the movies. Ricky lost Sally's phone number. At the end of the day, Jane was tired. Not I went to the movies, not Ricky lost your phone number. At the end of the day, I was tired. No, it's all third person. Okay, all third person. And again, way to remember that it's happening to somebody else. And then last but not least is the third person omniscient. Omniscient's a big, hard, pronounced word, even harder to spell, but it's still a thing. Yes, for omniscient, the narrator is basically, omniscient means all-knowing. So not only do you have the narrator he can look inside anyone's head, or she can look inside anyone's head, or whatever this thing is. For example, okay, it uses they or forms thereof because it's still third person. It's told by someone all-knowing. All-knowing is what omniscient means. You often hear that word referred to God. God is all-knowing, so he's omniscient. Okay? And it can jump from character to character at any time, not limited to only one character. So at any point in time, you can know what anyone's thinking and anyone's feeling, and it can know things that the characters don't know themselves. That's okay. That's a big part of that. So, for example, they didn't see the dragon swooping towards them. Well, if they didn't see it, who saw it? Well, the narrator who's all-knowing. Bobby will learn later not to drink chunky milk. Oh dear. Well, omniscient person knows the past, the present, and the future. Okay. And behind Jill was a killer. Jill didn't know that, but we do. The narrator knows. So there are your four different points of view. I would strongly suggest that you kind of really get these down. And again, the key point that I really want to get across about all of this is whichever point of view you're going to write from, you just need to be consistent. Okay, if you're going to write first person, stick with first person. If you write second person, so on and so on. So, and often the point of view will deal with what kind of story you want to tell. And that's something we're going to be getting into in the next few weeks in this class. So, anyway, just want to make sure that everyone's on board with the 4 different points of view. If you have questions, please put on the discussion board or reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. All right. And I hope everyone has a great week. Let's go get some work done.